I guess the first key benefit is like helping with staff, giving them more meaningful work. That's feedback that a lot of our customers give to us, is that by removing this thing that the staff hates, and maybe 1 hour a day or maybe many hours a day, you make that staff member more productive because they can immediately focus on the higher value task, or they can focus on doing some guest services stuff, working with the guests, improving guest satisfaction. And those are the things that people really get into the hospitality industry to do. They don't get in the hospitality industry to spend 4 hours a day copying data from one spreadsheet to another, right? Those are things that that are really important. But there's a lot more. So, for example, one of the automations that we have actually automates the association between a menu item in a point of sale platform and the cost of the supply. So the automation looks at both systems, and when it sees the cost of a certain supply item going beyond, a certain amount, let's say plus minus 10%, the automation can automatically pick up and affect the price on the point of sale system. So that way, if you have a certain ingredient in your in a menu item and the price doubles, you're not waiting for a human to go through and figure out that they have to change that price. It just automatically populates that through to the point of sale system. That has a real impact on the revenue. Another area, last year, especially when the inflation was really out of control, you had a lot of requirements for changing package item pricing, especially like breakfast or something like that, as soon as possible. And if you have thousands of hotels, that can be a very daunting task. So one of the automations that we built was actually going and updating this pricing so that the pricing was staying more in line with inflation, and it was contributing definitely to the hotel's bottom line. Another area, so payment reconciliations and commission reconciliations are very important. One of the habits that we see a lot of hotels do is that when they get a request for payment from an OTA or a bed bank or something like that, they have this internal number that they look at, and they go, okay, if it's plus minus 1.5 or 2% from this internal expected number, we just pay it. We don't check it, right? Because they don't have the manpower to check all of these things. When actually what we've uncovered is that this is costing, especially larger groups, tens of thousands of dollars every single month in revenue that they would otherwise get. And so this is an area that's huge. Like any area where you have a lot of reconciliation that you need to manually process, this is something that's a great candidate for RPA. And in that case, the automations pay for themselves, like usually in the first month. Other areas, uploading data to extranets, whether this is loyalty points or whether it's travel agent commissions, there's a lot of information that can be just automated. So you can take this data out of your reservation system, have a very clear idea of what your production was from these particular channels in a previous month, and then automatically reconcile all of those payments. It's a force multiplier, really. We've seen customers that they have many different bank accounts that they have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. So you have one person that's downloading 100 bank account statements every day and filing them into an online system. This is a great thing for automation. And what happens? Do those people go away? Absolutely not. Those people get deployed on those tasks that management has been asking for months and sometimes years. Produce this analysis so I can see what's happening, that they never had time to do because they're stuck on these important, very important, but like regular operation tasks that the business needs to survive, but it's not really adding a lot of value. It's just a human acting like a robot, right? So let's replace those humans with the automation and let the people focus on tasks that only they can do.